Hey, it's Stacy. I want to do an update. It's been a long time. This update will probably show how much I have to do, but that's okay. This is a zucchini squash plant that I planted from seed. A zucchini, what is it? Zucchini golden bush. And I'm starting to get some stuff on it. This is some sweet potatoes and beans that I have planted. And I also have a couple of patio tomato plants planted out here that are doing real well. So got that right there. This is my front yard. So I want to show you the backyard. Isn't that a beautiful thing when it's been 96 degrees out every day for, we've had like 3 weeks of really hot weather with no rain, hot and humid. This is beans I just planted about a week ago, and I'm hoping to do them up the trellis that goes all the way up. And I stuck some petunias in there for color and their companion plants. Some squash that I have in the container. I've picked so many squash. We've picked about 25 so far, I guess. Squash. More squash down there with carrots. The carrots should be ready to harvest pretty soon. I'm always finding more squash. In fact, I want to look online later today and try to see when exactly I should harvest the carrots, but I think they're getting close. And then these are sugar snap peas. We don't know in this house if there's what the difference is in sugar snap and sugar snow peas, but we have a whole bunch of them. But I think they don't like the heat, I thought is what I read. And it's hot, so I hate to dig them up when they're producing this much, but I want to do beans here, so we'll see. And then I've already done beans right here, and they're doing great. You can see the carrots. And then this is one of the square foot gardens with the chamomile. It's flowered. And peppers. I have a bunch of peppers. There's my a bell pepper. More squash that I've kind of trained to go up this so far, but it's also coming all down the back here. Another one. More squash. Yeah, more squash. This is the coolest bush. It's just in that bucket, but man, has it produced a lot of squash. A banana pepper plant, and I have 2 of those, and they're growing in. They keep blooming at opposite times, which is cool. This one we've already harvested about 15 off of, and now this one's got a whole bunch. And this is where you'll see how much work I've got to get done. I've got carrots that are probably about ready to harvest because they're coming into the okra, and squash. It's taking over right there, and I've got to try to get it back behind there better. There's stuff under it. There's onions down there and Swiss chard that I don't really care about the Swiss chard, but then it's coming all back here too. But it's producing a ton of squash. You can't see a lot right now because I just picked so much, but anyway. And then here's a cucumber plant that I have to grow up that. See what my husband did? Isn't that sweet? And we're already getting cucumbers. So, and it looks so cool the way it grows up. This just from those 2 little pots. So that's good. Potatoes, I've moved over here because it's just so hot. I don't think they like it. More squash. I won't show you all the different squash, but there's a lot on it, and that's some mint. And that is cantaloupe, and this is more cucumber, and they're growing up the trellis. Cayenne peppers, tomato. This is tomato that I grew from seed, and it's doing okay. And this is an early girl, and it's starting to get tomatoes on it. More peppers, okra, more peppers. Yes, more peppers. And those are sunflowers right there in those pots. And my father-in-law brought me these 2 stands that they were throwing away, so I've put some more containers on these. Those are tomatoes from seed. They're started really late. We'll see what happens. And a little tiny jalapeno plant in this little tiny pot that's already has jalapenos on it. Guess what? Peppers. And more squash. This I just moved from over on one of the sides where I was trying to grow it up a trellis. I'm just not sure. That came from seed, and it has made some squash, but it's just not doing as well, so I moved it to hope that that would do better. That corner I can't wait to start back there, because there used to be a giant pine tree there about an hour ago, and they came. It's my neighbor's tree, and they cut it down. So now I get enough. Hopefully, I can tell I'll get enough sun back in this corner that I can grow something. And I want to grow it tall, because that's the only little section of my fence that has no privacy. So the rest I've just kind of made my own privacy with my plants, like right here with cucumber plants, which are also going to get a lot more sun now that that tree's gone. And also have some strawberries. And let me show you real quick. This is pineapple sage, and it smells so good. I have no idea what to do with it yet, but I just like it. We have thyme and boxwood basil, lemon balm, chocolate mint, and basil. I made my first homemade pesto the other day, and it was so good. I wish I'd have done a video on it, but I just had too much to do. Potato boxes. I'm just trying not to get my hopes up with the potatoes. Since we planted the potatoes and had the idea to grow them here, I know they like sun, but I don't think they like heat. And now that we've had 2 trees come down, the one I was just showing you, and then the tree that used to be right there, man, these get a lot of heat and a lot of sun. So I don't know how they'll do, but we'll see. These are green beans, which I've got. I want more. I hope that they'll start producing a lot more. Well, we've already picked quite a bit. That's potato growing out from under that box. And I've just planted in the past week carrots right there and right there. And I just figured out today, that catnip is a mint. So that might explain why my pepper plants next to it are having a problem and why it's taking over right there. So that will be one of the things I must get done today. Other potato plant, that's not like water that it's wilting from. I mean, I don't know. Petunias, just because they're a companion plant to potatoes and they're pretty. More pepper plants. Eggplants, tried to do those from seed inside, planted them out here, not really cutting it. Have to dig them up. Not going to waste that square for an eggplant. I'd rather have more beans. I just planted some carrots there on May 22nd. Today's June 12th, I think. And then I've got beans, more carrots planted there. And these beans I planted, I think, on the 22nd too, yeah. These are top crop bush beans. That's more peppers. Just transferred this rosemary over, and I took up all my broccoli except one plant. I'm blown away that this broccoli has not bolted. I can't believe it. But anyway, I decided to turn this bed into a pizza-like garden. So it's got a whole bunch of Roma tomato plants, basil, and, well, yeah, two basil plants, and the rest is tomato, plus the marigolds and the salvia that were in there already when it had broccoli and onions and stuff in it. And then there's also 2 tomato plants that I grew from seed that were already in there. So my husband built this little contraption and our plan is to string across to hold the tomato plants up. So we'll see. I'll let you know how that goes. This, another square foot garden that already has some tomato plant, actually 2 tomato plants growing in the back. This one's a determinate that's bushed out, and this one's an indeterminate that I've been trimming the sucker leaves off of. We have some onions, some parsley, more Swiss chard, more onions, and then I just planted those onions on the 26th, so that was about 2 weeks ago. Marigold, strawberries. I think we should. I left the strawberry out here too long without picking it, and something ate it. I just missed one because we picked about 10 the other day. Yuck. This bed has some jalapenos. We did fried jalapeno poppers the other night when we had company. With all the jalapenos we picked for the day. And we still have more that just need to grow a little. And more squash. These are some little string bean plants. Lavender. And let me show you. Oh, I'm trying the straw bale gardening too. I wanted to try that. I did the trash can potatoes. Now this is what I'm doing with the 2 straw bales. Watermelon and cantaloupe. And then as you go around, I got my trellis done. My middle son built or designed it. So this is the melon bed that I have shown you in the past. And now I have, those are radish planted in the front because they're companion plants. And so that's radish. And then it's cantaloupe planted all along here. And going to weave it in and out of this trellis. Not very tall, but we'll see what happens. I hoped that I could kind of do it back down. I don't know. An experiment, we'll see. And then I have a watermelon plant, actually a couple in the back. That one I bought, those are from seed. And I'm training it to grow up this big tall one right here. That is where I had the squash plants and moved them. That's where I still have two that aren't doing great. And then there's a tomato plant. Another Roma tomato plant. It's looking good. It doesn't seem like we usually get the tomatoes this early, and it's great. And another tomato plant. Ugh. Last night, the squash started falling apart out here because it just got too heavy and I had to get it off the ground. So I have no idea if this is going to work. We'll see. I'll let you know. I don't know. I had to cut so much because it just kept breaking. But it wasn't, and we lost the entire, I had that squash planted in that square, and we lost it. So, and then I just planted sunflower there. I've got an empty square right there that I need to plant. More peppers. I'm about to have 3 empty squares when I harvest these carrots, which should be done pretty soon. Right there, and there, and then more jalapenos. And this is a tomato plant from seed, as is this one. This one's an indeterminate. I have not trimmed the suckers like I should because I had screwed up the other 2 plants and I didn't want to screw this one up. So now I need to, now that I know how to do it, I need to see what I can do to try to help that plant grow straight up. These are zinnia that were also from seed. So I think that about covers the update. I'll update again with the see what happens with the potato boxes and everything else. Thanks for watching.